Have you ever had a YouTube partner with a better gator clap than me?
I have never had a YouTube partner with a better gator clap than Chuck.
There we go.
Yeah, that's it's like Lindsay when she comes to us in the morning and says, "You're the best dad I've ever had."
Good evening, everybody. I am Chuck Rogers, a licensed professional counselor and a licensed marriage and family therapist.
And I am Keith Dunn. I am a network engineer, and I don't work with septic systems. And I'm so glad that I don't.
Woo! And tonight we're going to talk about how do I stop my negative thoughts. Stay tuned. We'll show you how it's done. Well, dude, let's start talking about me this week.
I tell you, you had some stuff that was scary this week. It was kind of like, press that fear button down.
Yeah, so, we just moved into our new building here at 371 Oakdale Circle. Beautiful, Lynchburg, Virginia.
Da-ding, da-ding. We'll put the phone number down below.
Yeah, please call. Yeah, we'll take care of you. And we love in our building. It's going smooth. We revamped 4,000 square feet. Then we revamped another 1,500 square feet. And we're rocking and rolling, expanding.
It's beautiful.
And then I come out of session a couple weeks ago on a Monday, and there were out of order signs on all of our bathrooms on the main floor.
Every bathroom. When I walk through, there's out of order signs everywhere. I'm like, where does somebody go to the bathroom here in this brand new building?
Right. I know we have 6 bathrooms on the main floor, and every single one of them was out of order because it was being backed up. And then we started having some water coming up, and so I tried to plunge, and it didn't work. And then we called in a guy. Everybody, you have to call in a guy, right?
Yeah, you have to call in somebody who knows what they're doing.
So we called in Rooter Man.
Yep.
From
Rooter.
No, that's different company.
Oh,
different. We called in Rooter Man.
Rooter Man.
Yes.
Okay.
And it got us going. We thought we were done.
Yep.
Next week rolls around. I come out of session. Boom. Every bathroom on the main floor is out of commission again. So we called Rooter Man back, and he's working really hard. And we were here till 9:30 that night.
Yeah, and that's really late for you anyway.
Oh, I know it is. Yeah. Trying to get this going, and we're like, why is this a problem? And he's like, I can't. He pulled some stuff out of the line we thought was part of the line. I mean, it was just nasty.
Yeah,
nasty
you sent
stuff.
pictures of that. It was,
it
was bad.
And it smelled up the building. Yeah. I mean, it was just.
Oh, yeah.
It's that stuff just smelled out of the building. So we continued to look and continued to work through it. And he comes to this. He's got his camera. We can see the lines, and the lines are now clear. And then he says, "I don't think you're on city sewer." And we're like, no, we have to be.
Right.
And our contractor goes, "No, I've been all over this grounds. There's no place. There's no clean out. This has to be." And he goes, "Look. The only time I've ever seen this kind of setup is septic." So the next day I jump online with Campbell County, and they say, "Oh, no, you're septic," even though we had no evidence of it.
Right. And not only that, but this size of a building, too, to be on septic.
Yeah.
And sitting right off a main road.
Right.
You wouldn't think that you would have been.
No.
Yeah.
And so we began the search. And the next day, yesterday, we had people come out, and we're probing the ground, looking for the septic tank.
Right.
Couldn't find anything. Had a guy come out with a special sonar equipment, and he couldn't find a septic tank. And so then this guy, who's been very experienced and been around a long time, says, "I'm fearful that the septic tank is literally under your building. When they've built on, that they've built over top of the septic tank." So
and you were texting me.
I was. Because that would mean that if this is the case, then we're going to have to tear up the cement floor in our new building. I mean, I can just envision jackhammers coming into our building.
Yeah.
And we still didn't know as of this morning. You and I had coffee together.
Right.
And we prayed about it.
We did.
And I was having to do cognitive therapy on myself, throughout the day yesterday and throughout the day last evening.
Yeah.
Because I try really hard to never ask my clients to do something I'm not willing to do as well.
Right.
So these negative thoughts were coming to me about what was going to happen.
Yeah. And so what did you do? What do you do when you have all of these negative thoughts? We've talked about it so many times. Right. But when you're dealing with it, what is your thought process? What are you going through?
Well, the brain talks to us all the time.
And we have to talk back to it.
And we have to talk back to
Right.
it. So I was having to practice what I preach about, literally talking back to my brain.
Right.
My brain was starting to say to me, this is going to be bad.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I had to talk back to it and say, it will likely not be unpleasant if the news isn't what we would like.
Right.
But it won't be bad.
Right. It'll be unpleasant.
It'll be unpleasant.
But it won't be bad.
It'll be an extreme amount of work to correct this problem.
And it could have been an extreme amount of money too.
Oh, yeah, it would have been.
Right.
And then I was thinking, well, then it's going to interrupt what we're doing, and it's going to be inconvenient to our clients, and it's going to be, or it's going to. I started saying it's going to be bad for our clients to have to kind of walk around the mess, or it's going to be bad for our therapist that's going to walk around the mess. And I had to talk back to that and say, no, it won't be bad.
Right.
It'll be unpleasant.
Yeah.
Don't want any part of this. But it's not bad.
First of all, I will put a link to Talking Back to Your Brain because we did an entire video on this.
We did.
But explain the difference between being unpleasant and being bad.
Well, sometimes what I'll do with my clients is I'll say, so this would be bad. If I were talking to myself, I'd say, so Chuck, this is going to be bad. Having to jackhammer up your new building is going to be bad. And on a scale of 100, where is that? Oh, that's 100.
Okay.
Well, okay, then where would be losing an arm? Oh, no, that would be 100.
Right.
Now jackhammering up my buildings may be a 50.
Okay.
Well, where would be losing both arms? No, that would be 100. Losing one arm would be 75, and jackhammering my building is now a 25.
Okay.
So it really helps to put things in perspective
It
about
does.
what bad is. And I was having these kinds of conversations with myself.
Okay.
Through last night to be able to sleep.
Right.
And, to be able to function today at work and keep my mind on what I needed to work on. And just turn this over to our wonderful contractor that I was saying to myself, it'll be very unpleasant. It's likely very expensive if the news is not good, if it's under the building.
That's right.
But our contractor will find it. There is an answer. It will come to an end.
That's
at
right.
some point in the future. We'll find the money to pay this off somehow, some way.
Sure.
And down the road, I will say, oh, glad that's behind us. I'm glad it was, but we got through it.
Right.
And so that was what I was telling myself last evening and this morning,
Yeah. And really through that process, because this morning we had coffee together, and Chuck and I actually were on our knees in prayer about this issue.
Yes. Absolutely.
So that right there, I wasn't really in the mix of that other than being Chuck's friend. So I didn't have the full weight of it, but I did have empathy for Chuck and his situation. So we prayed through that together because it does weigh on me because he is my friend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I went through my day seeing my clients.
Right.
And found out later and I saw the Drains Are Us guy pull up in his van, and I saw them bringing equipment in and out, and I just knew Pete Chamberland was handling it. Pete's a great contractor.
Yeah.
And they did one device and it couldn't work, and this guy's sonar equipment was broken. And then he brings out a big piece of equipment on like his third thing he's trying, and a big old hose type deal.
Okay.
Contraption with a thing that spins on the end, and he could hear it in the floor.
Right.
And so then he'd shut it off, and then he'd push it 5 feet more.
Okay.
And turn it on, and he'd put his ear to the floor and hear it.
So
and
he's following it. Sure.
Followed it all the way to the edge of the building.
Okay.
And then he knew that that's where it exited the building. And then he went outside and probed, and there it was.
Did he hit it the first time?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if he did or not.
Yeah, but you sent me a picture of when they unearthed the septic tank.
It was full.
Yes, it was all the way to the top.
Chevy Chase and Cousin Eddie from Christmas Vacation would be proud.
Yeah, don't light a match.
It's full, baby.
But what a relief.
It was.
Oh, my goodness. It went from being... even if it was a 25 or a 50 on your scale, it had to have dropped to a 2 or a 4. I mean, it really wasn't a big deal at all at that point.
It wasn't. Now that's exactly one of the things I was telling myself as I was talking back to my brain was, this will end at some point.
Right.
And it will either be this outcome that I don't desire, which is it being underneath our building.
Right. Yeah.
And it ended.
Sure.
Or it'll be outside somewhere that we haven't been able to find yet, and it will have ended. So either way, it will end.
Sure.
The choice is, am I going to fret about it in the meantime?
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I really don't want to fret either way. And either way, my fretting won't help. So I was telling myself that as I walked through it.
That's so great.
Yeah. It was, I'm glad it's over.
Yeah.
But I walked this one, I think, pretty well. And I certainly walked it through, I think, much better than I have walked through some other things in my life. And I want to get even better at that.
Right.
But you have to talk back to the brain because it will talk to you.
Yeah, and I think that is so great. And I will do that from time to time with everything that we have going on right now with the pandemic and everything that just seems to continue to drag people down. And you're continually, or I'm continually talking back to my brain.
Yes.
Because of what we talked about in that one episode that we went through. And that resonated so much with me. And watching you go through it over the past couple days and seeing your process, because I know I was feeling weight,
you were.
And I know that you had to be feeling weight to some degree, but you've really handled that well.
Oh gosh,
you did a
thanks so
great
much.
job with that.
Yeah. And thankfully it's over.
Yeah, it's done.
There we go.
It's done. So no more. You won't have to worry about that again for what, 5 years, 10 years?
I don't know. We'll find out
Yeah.
the specifics on that. So there you are. Hope that what we shared with you tonight was helpful. If you liked our content, please subscribe and ring that bell so that you're notified of future episodes.
That's right. And be sure to like it and share it with your friends so we can continue to grow this channel.
Thanks, everybody.
Until next time.